There are stories in history that become more fascinating the deeper we dig, far beyond their simple historical facts. Rome conquered Greece. That much everyone knows. But there is a truth far fewer people notice. After winning with swords and shields, Rome was, in turn, conquered by Greece through intellect and culture. So in the end, who was the true conqueror? The one who triumphed on the battlefield, or the one who ruled the mind of the victor? Join echoes of time as we dive deep into one of the strangest confrontations of the ancient world, when two great civilizations collide. The ancient world was shaped by two civilizations that stood above all others. Greece, the cradle of philosophy, science, and art. Rome, the war machine, the master of organization and law. The two civilizations rose from completely different foundations. Greece shone with brilliant minds like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Rome, meanwhile, stood out for its iron discipline, elite legions, and relentless ambition for expansion. One conquered through ideas, the other conquered through strength. And the collision between Greece and Rome was destined to ignite one of the great explosions in human history. Rome enters Greece. The brute challenges the giant of intellect. Before the 2nd century BC, Rome had almost no involvement in the Greek world. But its rivalry with Carthage eventually pulled Rome into the Balkans, and closer to Greece than ever before. And they discovered something surprising. The Greek city-states had grown weak. There was plenty of freedom, but even more division. Macedon had become authoritarian. Athens was exhausted. Sparta was merely a shadow of its former glory. Rome understood immediately, we don't need to defeat all of Greece. We only need to defeat Greece piece by piece. And so, the strategy of divide and conquer began. Rome did not rush to send in its armies. It sent envoys instead, promising protection to one side, threatening another, stirring Greece into fighting itself, while Rome stepped in only when necessary. It was a strike far more sophisticated than any sword. Roman legions versus Greek phalanx, a destined victory. The peak of this confrontation came at the Battle of Cynocephalae, 1977 BC, one of the most important battles in the history of Europe. The Macedonian phalanx, the massive formation of long sarissa spears that once terrified the world under Alexander the Great, finally revealed its weaknesses when facing Rome. Slow, difficult to maneuver, dependent on perfectly flat terrain, and extremely vulnerable when attacked from the flank. Meanwhile, the Roman legion was divided into many smaller units, moved with remarkable flexibility, could change direction of attack with ease, and could split its formations to swing around and strike from the flank. The result was devastating. The Greek phalanx was carved open and collapsed like a forest split in half. And after the Battle of Pydna in 168 BC, the fate of the Macedonian kingdom was sealed. The Roman war machine was so overwhelming that Greece had almost no military chance left to stand against it. Corinth in flames, the total fall of Greece. In 146 BC, the Achaean League, a coalition of Greek city-states, rose up against Roman control. Rome no longer wished to negotiate. It wanted to send a message to the entire world. This is the fate of anyone who dares to challenge us. Roman forces poured into Corinth. The city was set ablaze. Its people were killed or taken away as slaves. From that day on, Greece became an official province of the Roman Republic. A total victory, a complete conquest, at least on the surface. But then, something unexpected happened. Rome conquers Greece and is conquered in return. Sometimes the victor is so powerful that it suddenly realizes what it lacks. Rome dominated Greece through military might. But once the conquerors set foot on Greek soil, they discovered something profound. Greek philosophy expanded their minds. Greek art left them in awe. Greek mythology, drama, mathematics, astronomy, and architecture, all of it surpassed anything Rome had ever created. The Romans quickly understood, we may rule the body of Greece, but our minds now belong to them. Roman nobles brought Greek teachers into their homes to educate their children. Greek texts became the standard of learning. Greek philosophy became the moral foundation of Roman society. Even Roman emperors, such as Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most famous philosopher kings, drew deeply from Greek thought. The result was clear. Rome built its empire upon the intellectual foundations of Greece. Greece needed no army. It won no battles. It conquered Rome with its very soul. So, who was the true conqueror? If we look at the map, we see Rome as the invader, burning cities, defeating kingdoms, turning Greece into a province. But if we look at culture, philosophy, and ideas, the picture reverses completely. Greece was the true victor in the end. Rome may have ruled Greece's body, but Greece ruled Rome's soul. And it was this extraordinary fusion, Rome and Greece together, that laid the foundation for Western civilization for the next 2,000 years. The question of who conquered whom is no longer what truly matters. What matters is this: these two great civilizations merged, and in doing so, shaped the very world we live in today. If you enjoy deep, thoughtful, historical analyses like this, don't forget to follow Echoes of Time for more stories filled with insight and emotion. See you in the next video.